Good morning, everybody. Happy mid-August. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Morelia, smack dab in the middle of Mexico. Yes, we are. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we get together with people like you from all over the planet every Saturday morning, and we go live. And our goal at the Bill Dallas Lewis channel is to share the joys of living in Mexico. Happy mid-August, happy Saturday, happy weekend. I know all of you people have a lot of wonderful plans to get together with you and your loved ones. And popping up early this morning was Shar Williams. And we even have the fabulous and wonderful Mr. Brian Maiden in the house. DZ Buzzard is in the house. Good morning to each and everyone. As in every Saturday, we have a lot to cover today. The weather is pretty good here. It's this is so different from living in Mazatlán. I mean, the weather is fabulous. Right now, it's probably about 64 degrees, partly cloudy, no humidity. It'll go up to about 80 degrees today. I'm just so thankful to have electricity. The computers seem to be working well. We're running at about 400 meg this morning. We always love that. It looks like our cameras are working today. Gotta love that. Those of you that have joined us over the last 3 years know that you've seen me with technical difficulties. It's audio problems, video problems, camera problems, but we kind of got the kinks out over those 3 years, and we're here to be with you. If you're new here, this is not my show. I don't have anything planned. Well, I got a lot planned, but what's more important is if you have questions about moving to Mexico, living in Mexico, why would anybody want to live in Mexico? Do you get killed and robbed every day down here? I've been killed. I've been here 20 years. I've been killed 95 times, but thank God for reincarnation, because they kill me, then they take all my stuff, and the next day I just resurrect myself. So you come down to Mexico and magical things happen down here. But if you're new here and you have any questions, about moving to Mexico, living in Mexico, I don't have all the answer, but we got a lot of people in the house with a lot of knowledge and information. I got to say hello to Dave James in the house. Brenda Lee is in the house. Hola, Brenda Lee. And Lenora Wilson and her 2 dogs in the house. And Dominique Trammell. Buenos dias Bill y todos. That means good day. And to Bill and everybody. Stephen Nathan in the house. Hola, Stephen. She thinks, so she speaks. And she's having a beautiful day in Charlotte. Glad to hear that. Oh, look who's here. The Tooth Fairy is here. Oh, that brings back memories. The Tooth Fairy, I'm so glad that when my teeth would fall out when I was younger, and I'd leave my tooth under my pillow, and I would wake up, and the Tooth Fairy would leave me like $5,000. And I'd go out and buy some crack and some marijuana, have a good time. Thank you, Tooth Fairy. I had a lot of crack off you. Liston Henry, good morning. Thank you, Liston. You're so kind. Thank you so much. And look at Foster Doho. Good morning from Chapala. A wonderful place to live. Climate very similar to here. I think it's a little cooler here than there. Oh, you like that? You got a laugh out of that, huh? El Gringo Sin Nombre. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, you guys, I'm all settled in down here, and I tell you what I mean, my job is not to be in this apartment. I mean, that's my job, right? But I got my furniture where I want it to be. I got my clothes where I want them to be. I know where to get food to eat. I know how I like to spend the time in my apartment. I like my walks, and I'm really comfortable now. And it's so hard to leave. But I know I got to make some trips, and I got some trips planned, so I will be leaving. But after what, I've been here about 6 weeks now, and moving involves, for me, it involves a lot of stress. I'd say everything gets all freaked out, and when things settle down, I mean, I love my apartment. I love my neighborhood. I love where I go to buy food and the people that I'm meeting. They're so kind to me. But it's time to hit the road. And thanks to Marco. Marco has joined us. He is a Mexican American, and he gave me some tips on some day trips that I can make. He gave me a list of like 5 cities. So I'm studying those 5 cities. They're all like 30 minutes to an hour away from here. So shortly, I will be going to those cities. And I contacted Marco, gave me his phone number. He lives in Chicago. He has a freaky deaky job, man. He's a brilliant young man. He's 53 years old, but he sure does sound, but he sounds like he's like 18. Brilliant. He's brilliant. He has a fabulous history of how him and his parents moved to the United States. And we talked this week, and I'm going to interview him 1 week from tomorrow, and it's going to be fabulous. I want to thank him so much for all of the information that he has shared with me. And we will interview him, and he's going to rock your world about the joys of living in Mexico and how he plans to return here one day to Morelia, his hometown. Let's see who's talking up here. GHB. What are you talking about, GHB? Nice looking house. What are you paying a month? Oh, that's none of your business. None of your business. I ain't tell you. Ask me all them personal questions. Next, you'll be asking me my shoe size, how big is my underwear, stuff like that. I don't just be giving up any old information. Okay. Now, as of this morning, GHB, my rent is $477 a month. $477 a month. That's fully furnished, big king size bed, 2 bathrooms. Even though I live here by myself, I do enjoy having 2 bathrooms. I just enjoy that. But you can see it's fully furnished. You can see I got my refrigerator in the background, got my air fryer in the background. I can walk within 5 blocks. I can walk to like 2 butchers, 2 fish shops, a bunch of places to buy vegetables. I'm about a 10-minute taxi drive from downtown. And with the value, the peso has strengthened, and it was down. So I'm saying last weekend, my rent was at about $425 a month. But the United States economy has strengthened greatly thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They've been kicking that butt. Jobs are up. Let me go through the list here. And this is why the value of the peso is starting to go up now. Jobs are up. Unemployment is down. Inflation is going down. Interest rates are falling. The U.S. economy is the strongest in the world. Oil production is at an all-time high. Wages are higher. Crime is down 26%. And with all those very strong economic indicators, well, then Mexico starts to believe that, well, with all this strength that Biden and Harris have created over the last 4 years, they believe that the economy of the United States is going to be stronger. Thus, the powers that be in Mexico believe that there will be more investments from the United States. And when that happens, the value of the peso is starting to rise again. It shrank. I think that's because the Mexican government at a time thought that Trump man might become president again. So they thought the United States was going to fall all apart and the economy would go all to hell like it was the first time he was in office. But now they're seeing all the accomplishments of the United States economy under Biden-Harris, and the value of the peso is going up. But the good news about my rent is that even if it goes up a lot, I don't think I'll have to pay more than $550 a month, and I can go with that. Now, look who's here. None other than Ms. Sam. Ms. Sam, I'm almost ready to get on the phone and give you a call. I talked to Ms. Sam for an hour and a half. Oh, Charles Williams. Charles Williams talked to Ms. Sam. Ms. Sam said, no. Charles Williams told me that they talked literally for 5 hours. They talked for 5 hours on the phone. And Charles Williams said, I haven't had a conversation like that since high school. If you ever talk to Ms. Sam, you may as well just block out a whole day. She talked to you all day long. But Ms. Sam, I would say in the next 4 weeks, I would love to get together and interview you. You're so full of information, so full of life and love and hope. Let's see what's going on now. Any beautiful single senoritas walking around? What? Do you think I'm a pervert? Do I look like a pervert? Do I look like I be looking around for hot chicks walking around on the street? Well, you pegged me just right. And I love seeing all the senoritas that I see walking around on the street. I like to look. Right now, I'm in a mode where I don't touch or approach anything, but there's some hot mamas in my neighborhood everywhere I go. This is Mexico, and there are parts of Mexico where the people are more attractive than other locations. Like it's like being in California. I remember I was doing business in what city is that? I was doing business in Los Angeles. I lived in San Francisco for 5 years, but I was doing business in Los Angeles, and I went to Rodeo Drive. It was near my appointment, and I mean, the women on Rodeo Drive. Woo! I parked the car. I saw a woman. She was so hot. I followed her for about 5 blocks. I stalked her. And that's, you can go to various parts of Los Angeles and you don't see women like that all over Los Angeles. And that's the way Morelia is. There are some hot women in Morelia. I've had 4 or 5 heart attacks. I had 4 or 5 heart attacks and died. I see women so beautiful. Thank God for reincarnation, because I came right back to life. I'm good to go. And Lola is in the house. Lola, happy to see you here. Fantastic, beautiful Deborah Ballard in the house, and John Ketchum. Buenos dias, Bill Dallas Lewis Peeps from Little Rock, Arkansas. Glad to see you here, John. Great always. And Ray Garcia. I'll be in Guanajuato Morelia in 2 semanas. That means 2 weeks. Look me up. We'll have coffee or something. Guanajuato is one of my favorite places in the country of Mexico. Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, do find a price difference between Morelia and Mazatlán for food? I think that's a Pretty Boy. That's a very good question. Overall, I think the prices are definitely lower here. Now, there are many places in Mazatlán where you can find very inexpensive foods. I went to a couple of markets in Mazatlán where the beef, poultry, pork, fish prices were very low. But where I was living near the marina, there were everything it was all gringo prices. Everything was expensive. Cheeseburgers were $7.50. In Mexico, that's just like crazy. I mean, they were good cheeseburgers, okay, but they didn't have like the local butchers, the local vegetable shops, the local tianguis to buy all the stuff. You really had to search or like travel like 20 blocks to get to good prices. Here I am surrounded by low prices. Many restaurants and places to eat on the street with low non-tourist prices. Prices for the people. So I'm going to say overall, Morelia, with the population of 1 million people, with an international airport, working people, a university town, many medical colleges here, educated people, the prices are much more affordable than Mazatlán. And I've only seen one gringo in 6 weeks, and the prices for food are fabulous. And when I end this broadcast, I'm going to my favorite grocery store, La Comer, and buy some food just because I like to go there. Temple Moore, morning. Look who's in the house. Temple Moore. I think I saw you on Rodeo Drive. Rush Shrewsbury in the house. Ola Bill, is your hill getting easier to climb? Yes. And for those of you that don't know, I live on a hill, and let me show you guys. For those of you that don't know, let me show you what I am seeing now. I'm looking out of my front window, and I would like to broadcast so that my front window, you guys could see what's out there. But if I do that, the backlight's going to just wipe everything out. You wouldn't be able to see anything. But this is where I live. I live up here on this. That's across the street. Those buildings, I can see them right now. I'm looking at them through the window, but that is my view. So, okay. So I live on this hill. I walk up and down this hill for an hour. I've been doing it for 6 weeks, and the first week was hell. But now it's very easy. And when I go down to my markets, I have to walk downhill. It's a pretty steep hill. And then I live on the 3rd floor. I have to walk up like 3 flights of steps. But every day it gets more and more effortless. And then I can really get into my morning meditation as I walk, more easier because I'm not concentrating on the walk. I'm just concentrating on being one with the universe. So it's great. It gets better and better and better walking every day. The buck stops here, is in the house. Happy Saturday, everyone. Glad to catch another episode with Bill and Familia. And I had a very, somebody left a comment after the broadcast last week. And I think maybe it was Ms. Hawkins. She joins us almost every Saturday. And she was watching the rebroadcast. And in her comment, and she knew she was watching after the broadcast, and she left a message that said, "Hi, Bill and community. Sorry I missed you guys today." And that's so cool. That's so cool that she not only she indicated that she was sad not to see me, but she was sad that she missed being with you guys that make the show, that leave the comments, that ask the questions. That's pretty cool. We are a community, and if you're new here, we do this every Saturday. Click that subscribe button, and if you're new here, tell us. Just, leave a little comment. Tell us who you are. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about living in Mexico? And we can talk about other things than living in Mexico. I love living in Mexico. I've been here like 20 years. But if you're new here, let us know who you are. Say hello. What do you want to know? Are you living here? Are you moving here? Also, if you are living in Mexico and you would like to do an interview, we can do it remotely. Just send me an email. We'll have a conversation on the phone and we'll get it all set up. If you would like to be a guest on the show, maybe you have some thoughts to share, and I can interview you here while we're going live, and you can share your perspectives. That makes the show a lot more fun. And Ms. Matthews from my hometown in Columbus, Ohio. Hola, buenos dias from Ms. Matthews. And look who's here, Helen Hall Rivers. Good morning to you, Char. Great conversation with Ms. Sam. Yes, she is truly a treasure. I'm going to interview Ms. Sam. And you guys, this woman has so much positive energy flowing through her. She has been through so much in her life, living in different countries and giant cities, and woo, she got some perspectives all the way around. Don Cole, broadcasting from Florida. Don Cole, you never know where Don Cole's going to be. Great to see you here. Char, she is helping me so much. Yeah. And we help each other here. People come in here and they say, hey, can you connect me with so-and-so? Can you connect me with so-and-so? And next thing, they're talking and chatting and sharing information, and their life is improving. Okay, Mexican peso is currently at 1863, slightly in the red at negative 10% on a one-day chart. When in doubt, zoom out. On the one-year chart, Mexico peso is up 8.67, and all-time chart indicates that it's at plus 66.67%. So the value of the peso is going back up, and I think it will get stronger, maybe closer to the election. And I think that once Vice President Kamala Harris wins the election, which is very important, so we don't become like a communist country under Trump man or whatever, I think the value of the peso will then go up even more. Ken Art, once again, skydiving on Saturday morning in front of all of us. Great to see you in the house. And I have a note here. Ken Art does, he's mentioned to us that he does, I'm pretty sure he works at home. He has some kind of financial, it's not day trading, it's something like that. But he just reminds me that if you work online, I've been working online in Mexico for almost 20 years. February will be my 20th year in Mexico. I came down here working online. I taught computer graphics for about 10 years. Then I switched to being a writer on Amazon. Then I switched to doing YouTube videos. But if you have a skill and you work online, it is so much more affordable to live in Mexico, and the cost of living is ridiculously more affordable, and it makes your life so much fun, and the weather is fabulous. And my neighbor David is in the house. Hola, Bill. Happy Saturday to everyone, and happy Saturday to you, David. And I want to reach out to David in the near future because him and Miss Sam live here. I want to interview him, and I want to have breakfast with him and his wonderful wife, Maria, in the near future. And none other than Verlaine is in the house. Good morning to you. Looking forward to your interview with Ms. Sam. And look who's here, none other than William Mustache Stone Man. Hola, William. Buenos dias de Mammoth Caves, Kentucky. Kentucky is a beautiful place. When I was doing children's books, I would drive all over the country. And I tell you what, man, Kentucky is one of the most beautiful places on the freeway. You drive through all these mountains, and it's a beautiful place. And the people are very friendly. No way what? Earthly, color brown, blessing all. No mas. He's saying, don't talk about politics anymore. Please. Okay. Got that. I got to do it. It's a very important time. And I think I'm going to start doing like a midweek broadcast. I think I'm going to call it Bill the Geek Unleashed. And I think I'll talk about politics in that midweek broadcast. And then I won't talk about it at all on Saturdays. That's what I'm thinking about doing. So anyway, that's okay. Ms. Sam Olachar, thanks for those kind words. Hasta luego. Okay. So we got a lot going on. Okay. I know what's going on here. Let's go to the map. Dominique, 2 weeks ago asked me about a place. She said, have you heard of this place here? And I'm going to show you this place. It's right in the middle of the map. And there it is. And I'm going to mess the name of this place up, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's called Zihuatanejo. Zihuatanejo. And so I looked it up, and it looks like an interesting place. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. It looks like it's a tourist town, and it looks very similar to Puerto Vallarta. And I'm wondering how many expats they have there and what is the cost of living there. And that looks so much that looks so much like Puerto Vallarta, houses on the hill, marinas, lots of beaches and resorts, places to go. Look at that ocean, art, history, Zihuatanejo. So let's get out of here and let's zoom out. I never heard of it until Dominique brought it up 2 weeks ago, and let's zoom out. But I'm thinking a place like that is going to be kind of touristy. You can see it is marked there. And you can see Colima. Here is Zihuatanejo. And I'm wondering if William Mustache Stoneman has ever been there. He's been throughout Mexico, but you head north and there's Colima. We've done 2 videos on Colima and its sister city, Comala. I've done 2 videos, one on each city, and you go up and then you can see Puerto Vallarta right up here. And I've lived in Mazatlán and Puerto Vallarta, but it looks like a beach tourist town. And I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with beach tourist towns. I'm just looking at the pictures over here, and that just has tourist town written all over it. And it's right down the road from Acapulco. One day I haven't been to Acapulco yet, but maybe I'll visit it in the future, make a video about it. And it's not that far from Morelia. Here's Morelia up here. It looks like it's just south. It looks, oh God, I bet that's about a 10-hour bus ride. We'll see. Maybe I will visit that place one day. Okay, now let's see what's going on here. Buck stops here. Bill the Geek. Unleash sounds very entertaining me. Let me know where and when to subscribe. Just stay with the channel. I may not initiate that. I think, let me go back over here. I may not initiate that until September. As we get closer to the election, a lot's going on with the election. But I can see doing a weekly Bill the Geek Unleashed about the election and run that from the first week of September through the November 5th election, because it's an extremely important election. Dominique seems really busy now, very sleepy when I used to go. Oh, okay. Very busy. Interesting. Okay. William Mustache Stoneman, never again visiting beach tourist areas. Yeah, I mean, once you visit it one time, it's like, why go? And I know in Puerto Vallarta, they have these resorts. Let's go to the map here. Let's go to the map. Let's go to the map. Here we go. And that's not the right thing to do. Let's get out of here. And this I'm gonna zoom in on Puerto Vallarta right here. So I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 12 years, I think. Let's zoom in some more. And we're gonna zoom in some more. So you got Puerto Vallarta like right here. You can't see my mouse moving, so you're going to have to, it's the white area with the little star right there. But along the coast, north of Puerto Vallarta, there's like Nuevo Vallarta, and they have all of these all-inclusive resorts there. I mean, and it's almost like that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's almost like you're surrounded by desert. It's about 13. It's about what? It's about 13 miles. The all-inclusive resorts, they're fabulous, beautiful facilities on the beach, great restaurants, several swimming pools, and it's far away from everything. And maybe it's less expensive than, going to some place in Europe or something like that. But why go? Why go? I can't see it. I just don't see it. I'm like William Mustache Stone Man. I'm done with beach resorts. I'd rather sit at home and watch YouTube historical videos. Okay, now, Miss Sam, Bill, talk about politics all you want. Some of us love when you talk about politics. Kamala Biba, that means live. Kamala and Tim Waltz. Okay, yeah, we live in a democracy, and the people on this channel, the people get what they want. So right now we have two people that want more politics, and one. Well, hey, this is a democratic community in here, and I give the people what they want. Okay, Ann in the house from Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I think that maybe this is the first time Ann has ever really left a message. And Ann, tell us about yourself. Are you thinking about living in Mexico? You thinking about moving to Mexico? Got any questions for us? I think I've been through Stone Mountain, Georgia before. Dominique, do you live in Mexico? There's a question for Dominique. Adam, greetings from San Pancho. Oh, now San Pancho is a trip because going back to the map here, San Pancho, let's go back to the map over here. Okay, let's zoom in some more. And Google isn't even showing San Pancho, but maybe they will. Maybe they will if we just keep zooming in. It's funny, but they're not showing. You can see Nuevo Vallarta right here. You can see Bucerias right here. And if we keep going up the map, you're going to find Sayulita right here. And Sayulita is a fabulous place to visit anyway. If I was a total hermit, I could see living in Sayulita. And I've done a video or two on Sayulita, and I did a video on San Pancho also. San Pancho is like a hidden gem. Sayulita is fabulous. Sayulita is wonderful, but it's so filled with tourists. But they have wonderful tourists, and they have people from all over the world that just go to Sayulita, unlike other Mexican beach towns. People from all over the world, they love Sayulita. And I'm going to say like a mile and a half away from Sayulita is San Pancho. And it's as fabulous as Sayulita, except there's like nobody there. Wonderful, super fabulous beaches with nobody there. They have fabulous little restaurants, wonderful, beautiful town. So right now, today, I'm going to say, Adam, that San Pancho is awesome. It's and if you want a real chilled out vacation, or maybe a honeymoon, or maybe you just have that special loved one and you just want to get together for a private place where you got a bunch of love going on, maybe on the beach and stuff. San Pancho should be an awesome. Looking forward to interviews with Ms. Sam. Why not? Hey, Bill, I highly recommend that you check out, Pátzcuaro. Yep. And what camera I have right here. Let's see if I can make this work. And looky here, Dave. There it is. You see it right there. This is a list. This is a list of towns that Marco suggested to me. I just talked with him, I think Wednesday of this week. And let's take a peek at where that is. And David is suggesting that I go there. Marco gave me a list of these 5 places, and let's look on the map and see where these 5 places are. And isn't this so groovy that we have this map? Let's zoom. Let's get the map up. All of these places. Let's zoom out. All of the places you saw there on that piece of paper. Oh, thank God for the internet. Let's zoom in. Oh, that's zooming out. Let's zoom in. And let's take a peek and see it where these places are. So I have a couple of videos. Where am I? There we go, right there. That's funny. Let's zoom in. That was zooming out. Let's zoom in. So you can see, here we go. Yes. So you can see Morelia over here. And people over the last few weeks since I've moved here, they've been saying, well, are there any lakes around Morelia? Yeah, look, here's a lake up here, lake up there. In the upper portion of the screen, we have lake over here, but Pátzcuaro is right over here. And I think I'm going to visit that place in about 10 days. First, I'm going to start out with this place on the list. And Dave, tell me, what's that, like an hour drive, maybe less than that? Get up early in the morning, go to this place, video this place, then go back on the bus to Morelia, get back around 4 or 5, edit some video, and then the next day I want to go here. And they have a place there. It's called Isla, which means island. Isla de Hanizio. Yeah, so but Marco gave me a list of cities, and even though he lives in Chicago, and he grew up in Chicago, he would come and spend a couple of months every year in Morelia with his grandparents, and they would take trips to all these small towns around Morelia. And if I'm not mistaken, here's the first place that I'm going. And look at these ancient buildings here. I want to see those. Put the drone up. I mean, Mexico is such a wealth of history. And talk about politics. I mean, why didn't they tell me about this stuff like in elementary school? In elementary school, I didn't hear anything about Mexico. We talk about Europe, talk about England, Spain. They didn't say anything about Mexico. but the Spaniards hit Mexico was like 1542, 100 years before the Mayflower crossed over, like 16 whatever. And then they have pyramids and all that kind of stuff that go back like 10,000 or more years in Mexico. I mean, they got Mexican communities that are much older than European communities. What's up with that? Whatever. Now, Dominique, yeah, might as well visit Miami Beach rather than travel abroad to go to an all-inclusive beach resort bubble. You are so right, man. Yeah, why didn't you just go to Miami Beach? You know, why did you come down here to go to an all-inclusive resort where all you see is the person that you went there with and some other expats? That's crazy. Todo, that's loco. SP in Kansas City. Great to see you here, SP. Keep going up on that map. Okay. Let me try it again. Let's see what the map. Let's see what happens. I would have to go in here, go back up here, and I'm just wondering why Google does not show. I mean, it always shows. Okay. Now here we can see Sayulita right there. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on Sayulita and see if Sayulita disappears again. There it is right there. Here's Sayulita right here. So San Pancho is right up the road, but Google is not showing it. Google, here it is. Here's Sayulita right here, and here is San Pancho right here. And they have beautiful, I have many photos of beautiful beaches in San Pancho. Really long and clean and beautiful beaches. And unlike Mazatlán, Mazatlán is just filled with hotels, tourists on the, it's a tourist town. San Pancho is awesome. And Char Williams, I want to thank you so much for contributing to the channel to kick off our road trips that will begin probably in about 10 days. It's going to be so different being on the road again, being away from the apartment that I love so much. But the time has come to hit the road and make videos and do what you guys really like. But Char Williams, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. And I thank everyone for showing up this Saturday to join the community and talk about the joys of living in Mexico. Dominique, I don't live in Mexico yet, but I was born and raised in Southern California and have spent a lot of time there. She's answering a question. Yeah, okay. SP, I understand the largest annual fair is actually in Aguas Calientes. That means hot waters. It's nearby you, right? Sounds amazing there. I've heard a lot of things about Aguas Caliente. And let's take a peek at the map and see where that is. That has to be really close to where I am. And I was reading about, I did a video on murders in Mexico, what states had the most crime, and Aguas Caliente. Here is Morelia right here. There's Leon. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Come on now. Where is here's this. Now they're not showing Morelia, but Morelia is down here. We just saw this town. It's about 30 minutes from Morelia. And due north, here's Leon. That's the leather capital of Mexico. It's worth 2 days in Leon just to walk around the leather shop. It's if you go to Leon like before Christmas, I would plan going to Leon and do all of your Christmas shopping there. Leather shoes, purses, boots, belts, everything, pouches, everything leather. They got like 20 square blocks of real handmade leather products. And last November, every November, they have the Leon Hot Air Balloon Festival every November. Yeah. So go to Leon, go to the Hot Air Balloon Festival. That lasts, they have like 600 hot air balloons from all over the world that go off. I did a video on it last November. And then while you're at the Hot Air Balloon Festival, go into town, buy a bunch of leather stuff for all your friends and family. But here is Aguas Calientes right here. Aguas Calientes, and someone mentioned earlier. Oh, it's so funny what they do show and what. But Guanajuato is like a 20-minute drive from Leon. I don't believe why they don't show that on the map now, but I've heard fabulous things about Aguas Caliente, and I want to make a video about that in the very near future. So let's get back over here. See what people are talking about. Earthly brown color. Gracias, Char. Hit the like button, friends. We have 73 people in the house, and we have 27 likes. Ray Garcia. Politics and religion are personal and polarizing subjects. Yeah, and I bet the slaves, when black people were slaves in the South, I bet a lot of white people didn't want the slaves to talk about politics like, you really ought to set us free because we're black, we got chains on and stuff. It just ain't right. I bet the white people said, don't talk about that. We don't, let's just be happy. Eat some rice and some beans. Be happy. Don't talk about that. Yeah. La Dulce Beta, ciao, Bill, and everyone can't watch today, but wanted to say, hey, look forward to seeing you in September. Ziwatinaho. Thank you, Dave James, for the correction in pronunciation. Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday about an ancient civilization in Africa. And it was, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I've become an ancient civilization junkie. And they had this one ancient god. And this guy, and it starts with an M, 5 letters. And he said there are like 50 ways to pronounce this ancient God's name, 50 different ways. And he said, it just depends. Don't worry about it. Now, Brenda Lee, Bill, I was wondering if the temperature gets down to the upper 60s at night. Actually, in Morelia, the temperatures go down to maybe 56 or 58 at nighttime. And let's take a look here. The beauty and knowledge of the internet. Let's take a peek here. Morelia weather. Here we go. Morelia. Let's take a peek here. I think I can share this. Where am I? Let's go over here. And let's go to stop this screen, present, share screen. Let's share this screen. Let's go to Morelia weather. There you go, right there. That's what I'm talking about. And you can see there, it starts with Sunday. That may be hard to see, but what it says is it's going to be 74 degrees today, 58 at night. Sunday, 75 in the day, 57 at night. And through the week, pretty much it's the coldest it's going to get during the week is 55, somewhere between 55 and 58 degrees, with a high of 78 degrees in the daytime. There you go. There you go. Google has answers to all of our questions. It's a wonderful thing. Bill, I was in my stock trading group's annual retreat in Maui 2 weeks ago. That's funny. I've been to Hawaii twice. I've been to Maui. Maui's fabulous. I was surprised to meet, no crap, Robin Quivers, Howard. Oh, no way. I loved Robin and Howard, co-hosts. She's also a member of the group. A great time. Howard Stern changed my life. I love Howard and Robin. Oh, wow. That is a fabulous story. Ken Art, thank you so much for sharing. Robin Quivers, I love them both. Howard Stern changed my life. He really did in a very positive way. Okay, thank you, David. It's about a 45-minute drive from here to one of the towns that I showed you that Marco gave me, which is on my list of places to visit, especially in early September. Then I will start taking longer trips. Brenda Lee, if the temperature gets down to the upper 60s at night in August, how cold does it get in the winter? David, this is David right here who's telling me it's a 45-minute drive. David lives here, and he has for a few years with his wife, Maria. And he was telling me that in the wintertime, he was telling me at nighttime, it will get into the upper 30s at night, maybe 38 degrees at night. But that's chilly. Yeah, there you go. Miss Sam, she's talking. You're so right, Dominique. And let's see what let me see what I missed with Dom. There you go. Okay, Dominique. Bill, do you have any plans to visit any Pueblos Mágicos? Yes, there are 8 Pueblos Mágicos around Morelia. I have a list of them all. I want to visit each and every one. And if I can visit each Pueblo Mágico, and for those of you that don't know, Pueblo Mágico has a very special governmental, it's kind of like an award, and they have a big star in the middle of the plaza in the city that says, this is a Pueblo Mágico. And in English, that means a magical city or a magical town. So yes, there are 8 Pueblos Mágicos. There are 8 magical towns around Morelia, and I want to visit each and every one. And one of those Pueblos Mágicos is where they have the annual monarch butterflies that fly. Lioness Lifestyle. Greetings, Bill. Just wanted to shout out to your Facebook group. They have been real helpful with our relocation. Cool. Thanks for all you do. Thank you very much. And for those of you that don't know, we have a Facebook group. It's called Mexico Expats Living in Mexico. Bill, Dallas, Lewis. We're above 300 members. I think we're about like 313. We just started about 3 months ago. I think by Christmas, we'll probably have maybe 1,000 members or more. So a link to our Facebook group. You can go there, post questions and answers. The thing is that when you want to join the group, I ask questions. It's like, I just ask like 4 questions so that the bots don't get me. And so I asked 4 questions like, have you visited Mexico? Do you live in Mexico? Will you abide by the rules? And will you be kind to everyone? I ask 4 basic questions. And a lot of people come in, they don't want to answer any of the questions. I don't let them in. I probably turn down about 200 people. All you have to do is to get in the group, you have to answer the questions. Do you live in Mexico? Are you moving to Mexico? Will you follow our rules? And our rules are be kind and nice to one another. And will you be kind and nice to other members? All you have to do is answer those questions to get into the group. If you don't answer those questions, I don't let you in. Okay? So yeah, join the group and grow with us. And yes, I'm thinking about living in Mexico part-time. Passport ready, especially if the weirdos win the election. Love hearing your political commentary. Well, okay, that's 3 people that like politics. One, and this guy that doesn't want to hear about politics. I love him like a brother, but you know how it goes. But let me just rip just a little bit. Kamala Harris and Governor Walsh are kicking that butt. And it's about time. I mean, and she's talking about all doing good things. She's talking about everybody in the United States coming together for love, joining, sharing, truth. I mean, the Republican Party, they want to ban books. They're burning books. They don't want people to read 1984 by George Orwell, Animal Farm by George Orwell. Both books changed my life about view of living with people and people. They want to burn Animal Farm. They want to burn the book 1984. They want everyone to be in one little religion. I mean, on the dollar bill, on all the money in the United States, it says, from many come one. And these speeches and the crowd sizes of Kamala and Walsh have just been incredible. I mean, all she does is share love. And Mr. Walsh, all he does is share love. I want to see love back in the United States. People, I'm from the 60s, man. I'm from the 60s. That's when I was in high school. Peace, love, dove. Come together. The Beatles come together right now. Woo, all of that. All you need is love. I'm the 60s, man. Yeah. So, and we have to vote. You got to go out and get everybody to vote. We need a landslide and read Project 2025. And for you women out there, they just taking away women's rights. They want to monitor each and every woman's, when they have a period every month, they want you to have a little menstruation card so that every month you have to go verify that you've had your period. There are states that want to do that. There are states that don't want any more contraception. They want to make contraception illegal. Pretty soon, you won't be able to buy condoms at the pharmacy. No more condoms. They want to ban contraception. I mean, these people are nuts. Leave people alone. Let people be. Let's all come to, they want to get Project 2025 says that they want to get rid of the Department of Education. Why do they want to get rid of the Department of Education? Because uneducated people vote for people like Donald Trump. Only a fool would vote for Donald Trump. What? He's a 34-count felon, an adjudicated rapist. I mean, he's got a rap sheet longer than Jesse James. What? Okay. So it's like this. If I had a business and somebody came to me and they said, "Hey, would you interview my friend for a job?" Well, sure. Okay. I'll interview him for the job. Have him give me a call. And so his friend calls me for the job. And I asked him, "Okay, tell me about yourself." "Well, I'm an adjudicated rapist, and I got 20 women that say that I raped them too. And I got 34 felonies, and I might have to go to jail for about 4 years in the near future. Am I going to give this guy a job? Oh, and I've had like 7 companies go bankrupt. Yeah. Am I going to hire him? Oh, okay. So maybe I wouldn't hire him, but I sure as hell am not going to elect him so he can have access to the nuclear codes. But anyway, voting is very important. So I will be, something's going on over here on this machine. I don't know what it is. Something's going on this machine. What are you doing? There we go. So voting is very important. I will talk about it because the people have expressed their opinion about the value of that information. Richard, how affordable and comfortable is it to travel throughout Mexico by bus? Richard, okay, I've been here 20 years. I've taken hundreds of bus rides. The buses are fabulous almost all the time. They're right on time. The first bus trip that I took was from Puerto Vallarta to Mazatlán. I didn't have any reason to go to Mazatlán, didn't know anything about Mazatlán. I just thought, well, why don't I take a trip? So I got on the bus. I was very surprised. They had Wi-Fi on the bus. You could watch movies. At that time, you could watch like 75 movies in English. They had situation comedies, jazz you could listen to. At that time, they gave you headphones. I don't know. I haven't seen any buses give out headphones in about 2 years now, but I have some from old bus rides that are in my backpack that I just carry with me. The bathrooms were always very clean. The bus stations have great places to buy food, fresh Mexican restaurants in the bus stations where you can pack up some tacos and some sandwiches or a nice Mexican meal and take it with you on the bus. The last bus, I made a video about the last bus trip that I took. It was terrible. The bathrooms were gross. That was the only bus ride that was not good out of the hundreds that I've taken throughout Mexico. Shop around. I like the buses that are 2, floors, double deckers. And then I like to get a seat on the second floor of the bus. I like to get a seat on the second floor, sit in the front row. And that way it's like you're on the moon and you're sitting right above the bus driver and you can see everything. It's just awesome. I'm going to say that the bus systems in Mexico are fabulous. And another thing is almost all of the buses have electricity hookups underneath your seats. So if you want to charge your laptop, they have USB chargers so you can charge up your telephone. I'm going to say those only work like half the time. But anyway, I'm going to say, affordable. Okay, the first bus ride that I took from Puerto Vallarta to Mazatlán, I think it was like 400 pesos. That was a 4.5 hour trip, 400 pesos. So that would be like $20. From here on the bus, from Morelia to Mazatlán, which is like a 12-hour bus ride, was like $60. But I have a Mexico senior citizen discount card, so I got half off. So instead of $60, I paid like $30. And so when David, who lives in town, I got the wrong camera. When David, who lives in town, asked about this place right here, Pátzcuaro. So he says that's like 30 minutes or 45 minutes away, a drive. So I'm going to take the bus there. I bet it will cost like 70 pesos. I bet 70 pesos with my 70 pesos. It's like $3.50 with my senior citizen discount card. I get half off, which will bring the price down to like $1.80. So the buses are it's a wonderful experience, especially if you take something to eat with you, something to read. It's fabulous. But I'm going to say, if you take the bus in Mexico, a couple of big tips about taking the bus in Mexico. If you take the bus in Mexico, what you're going to see is all of the Mexicans. I'm going to say 99% of the Mexicans that you see on the bus will have a blanket or two. It might be hot and humid as hell outside and 99 degrees outside. But if you get on a bus in Mexico, they are going to crank up the air conditioning. So whenever I get on the bus in Mexico, I have I take like maybe 3 hoodies with me. I take 3 hoodies with me. I've got one on because it can get very chilly, but I love it. But be prepared. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I have to say about that. I hope that helped out Richard. There you go. Buck stops here. Yes, indeed. I got Aguas Calientes on my travel list. Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, when I visit Mexico, I want to visit non-tourist areas, meet locals, and see the way that they live. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden. I totally agree with you. I didn't move to Mexico. I didn't move to live in Mexico to see a bunch of people from like Idaho. You got a group of 20 people in Idaho. No, I don't want to see these people from Idaho. No, I can say hello, that kind of stuff. Also, when you're looking for a place to live, now Now that I've been making these videos, I've been traveling through Mexico. Now I'm getting a better feel for where do you want to live in Mexico. I mean, this has been a real evolution. It's a 20-year evolution of understanding why anyone would want to live in Mexico, or what I enjoy about Mexico the most. And I want to live in Mexico to live in Mexico, and I want to be around the Mexican people. That's it. All I want to see is Mexicans. And if you're thinking about moving to Mexico and you're moving to a place that you've heard of, like let's say Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlán, Ajijic, Chapala. If you're moving to a place you've heard of, most likely you're moving to a place that some expat has told you about, and they heard about it from some other expats, okay? And that means they have a community there, and that means you have a lot of those people living there. And for me, those are the places that I don't want to live in. I want to live in a Mexican community where I don't see any expats. I don't want to see any expats, period. Okay. And that's what makes living in Mexico so wonderful. Just walking around. It's like if you go to Greece, if you go to Greece, if you go to Ethiopia, you know, do you want to see a bunch of people from Idaho and hang out with them? Why would you want to do that? And all the places that are Mexican, the prices are going to be way lower. And my Spanish is okay, but it's very lacking. But there's something calming. There's something calming about not understanding what the signs say or what the people are talking about. You're like in your own little world, and everybody leaves you alone. You're just walking around. Nobody bothers you. It's very peaceful. Yeah, there you go. So Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, I am with you. I like going to the non-touristy places, and the more videos that I make, now with each video that I make, I will be going to smaller towns, even though Morelia is a pretty big city compared to the places that I've lived in. Like Puerto Vallarta's population is somewhere between 306,000 people, and Mazatlán is about the same. Guadalajara is somewhere between 3 million and 5 million people. Ajijic population is about 40,000. Chapala's population is about 25,000. Those are pretty small. So anyway, so as I do more and more towns, I'm going to, when I visit these towns, every town, I'll visit the plaza, I'll visit the cathedral, but I want to walk around and get some ideas of pricing as far as, well, how much would it cost to buy a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom home? How much would it cost to rent a 2-3-bedroom apartment? How much would it cost to rent a 1-bedroom apartment? So that I can share the aspects of the affordability of these towns. People are talking about, well, are you going to visit the magic towns around Morelia? Well, yeah, I'm going to visit the magic towns, but also I want to get an idea of what it would like to live in a magic town. Like we had a person here earlier that lives in San Pancho, which is near Puerto Vallarta, near Sayulita. Yeah, there may be a little too many expats in San Pancho for me, but It's way cleaner. And when I say clean, there are many less expats in San Pancho. So in these magic towns, I bet in the magical towns, in these towns with populations that are 50,000 or less, I bet you can get an apartment for like $300 or $400 a month. You know, when I first came to Morelia, I stayed in a hotel about 10 blocks from El Centro. And while I was there I was in this hotel, I think it was like the Victoria Hotel. It was like $27 a night. And I asked the guy behind the counter, I said, well, you know, I'm thinking about living here. How much will the rent be? And the guy said, oh, you can get a place to rent here probably for 3,000 to 4,000 pesos a month. I mean, he just said that, and he was born here, lived here, worked at the hotel. He said, surely you can find a nice 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, furnished apartment for 3,000 or 4,000 pesos a month. This is what he told me a year ago. So 3,000 pesos is $150. 4,000 pesos is $200. That's what he told me. He was telling me that in Morelia for $150 to $200, I could find an apartment. Well, I did not find an apartment in that price level, but the less Americans and Canadians you have living in a city, the less expats you see, the less you're going to pay for rent. Brian, Pretty Boy Maiden, thanks for bringing that up. Let's see what else is going on down here. Ola, Bill, and everyone from Canada. Late to the show today, Jamie. Rather late than never. Glad you can. My speaking skills have just all going down the tubes. I tell you what, once I get on the road again, then I will have video clips galore, and you guys just won't be listening to me talk. Okay, I'm almost on the road again. Riku, I'm gonna mess your name up, dude. I'm just gonna leave the last name alone. San Luis Potosi is highly recommended to me. Now live in Mazatlán. Lived in Muishacan too. San Luis Potosi. I lived in Mazatlán for 2 years. San Luis Potosi is the first Mexican place I ever lived in. I lived there for 9 weeks when I was in college. And that's truly the reason that I moved to Mexico, was from my experience in San Luis Potosi, Mexico. And I've said it before, but the people in San Luis, Mexico, San Luis Potosi is a city and a state. And let's look at the map. We're going to do some things here. Let's bring up the map so we can see where this place is. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, Google Maps. Yeah, okay, there we go. And this is a place I want to do a video. I want to do a video on San Luis Potosi, and we can see it right up here. Many states. There's a state that is called San Luis Potosi, but there is a city in the state of San Luis Potosi that is called San Luis Potosi. Let's zoom in, but you can see it right here. Here is San Luis Potosi. Here's Leon right here. Here is Morelia right down here. I bet I can get a bus to San Luis Potosi in 4 or 5 hours. Here's Mexico City right down here. But the people, the reason that I moved to Mexico was because of how wonderful the people treated me. In total Mexican strangers inviting me into their homes for dinner. I went to a concert one time, and they had a live band playing. There must have been like 3,000. It was an outdoor concert. 3,000 people in the crowd, Saturday early evening. The sun was going down. And some Mexican came up to me. He says, "Oh, can you sing? Can you sing?" I said, "Yeah, I can sing." And he says, "Well, sing for the people. What do you want to sing?" So I was going to sing "Color My World" by Chicago. As time goes on, "Color My World" by Chicago. I was ready to sing. I was going to get on stage. And none of these people knew me, but they wanted me to sing. Okay. And so I was getting ready to sing. I was ready to get on stage. The band knew Chicago, "Color My World." I was going to get on stage and sing. But then out of nowhere, a big riot started in the middle of the crowd. And I looked over at the band, and the band, they were grabbing all their instruments and running off stage. Okay, I knew that was a bad sign. So the band disappeared. I didn't get to sing. But San Luis Potosi, I want to revisit it. Fabulous place. That's how I got my start in Mexico. Oh, okay. History. More white slaves than blacks in history. I'm going to say what? It's like they had 100 million they had 100 million Africans that went across the ocean. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, 100 million. That's a lot of people that they transferred from Africa to the United States. The numbers may be higher than that. But I must say what's very surprising about history is especially the Roman Empire. I mean, they started out like a little town, and they just went town to town to town to town, country to country. And every town they went into, they enslaved everybody. First, they would get the president or the mayor of the town and his wife and all their kids, put them in cages. So Julius Caesar, he got a cut off of every slave that was sold. And in today's dollars, that was like $400 a slave. So he was way richer than Elon Musk. I mean, the first Julius, there were two Caesars. There was the old one and the young one. The old one got stabbed to death by the Senate. And that was the first time I ever heard about, and this was maybe like 8 years ago, I watched this documentary. It was a 24-part documentary about Rome. And the documentary was from HBO. It was called Rome. It was fabulous. But in elementary school, they never mentioned that the Romans were the biggest slave. That was their biggest form of revenue, was slavery. Why didn't they? They didn't say anything. Oh, and crucifixions everywhere. They had all of these heads. You're going into Rome right before you get into Rome, they have all these people that have been crucified, like 20 crucifixions as you're headed into Rome on the side of the road. Yeah, they didn't tell me none of that in elementary school. It's funny, but yeah, there's slavery is not just with black people in the United States. No, slavery has been around for a long, long time. Brian Maiden, I would love to visit Leon. I love leather products. I think I have 4 leather belts and 1 leather suspenders. And I tell you what, man, I was in Lyon. I've been there a couple of times. I didn't want to buy. I buying anything was not on my mind, but the quality of the leather they have bags, hats. Here's this thing. I bought this thing in Lyon. This was like $5. Look at that. $5. And look at this. My iPhone slips right. It's a perfect fit. My iPhone slips right into it. If I'm leaving the house, I put my iPhone right in there, close it up. I can put it on my belt, though I don't trust this little belt thing. You'd be walking around, all of a sudden the whole thing's gone, okay? But I bought bags. You go to Lyon, even though you don't want to buy anything, you're going to buy something because everything's so affordable. How can you not buy this for $5? What, in Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom's, this is like $1,000, right? That's what I'm talking. Yeah. So and I tell you what, if you really want to have an excellent experience, look at your map, look at your calendar and map out the first or second week of November to go to the Lyon Hot Air Balloon Festival. You will not be sorry at all. It lasts for 4 days. It's every November. It is an experience. You get there around 5:30 in the morning. There are people from all over the world visiting and watching this. And I tell you, all you have to do is go, and you stay from like 5:30 in the morning, see the whole thing happen. But I tell you what, I left at 10:30 in the morning, and by 10:30 in the morning, I didn't ever want to see a hot air balloon ever again in my life. There's a lot of them, man, but the whole experience is super worth it. So go to the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Lyon, and while you're there, go into town, and they call that part of town like Leather City or something like that. Lugar de Piel, the place of skin. And if you go there, be sure to have like 10,000 pesos with you. That's like $500. And I bought a leather travel bag. I bought a hat that I've never worn, but only cost like $3. I couldn't resist. So whatever. Okay, thank you, Buck Stops here. Let's get back here. We got some thumbs up going back. De nada. Okay, Ray Garcia. I bet the churches were full of KKK members Sunday mornings too. I'm not sure what you're referencing on that. I've been talking too much. Steve in Kansas City, I was just listening to a travel show, and they said 40s were possible and pretty normal in the winter months. Yes. And that's what David has told me even. But that's 40s at nighttime. 40s at nighttime. Okay. That's beautiful weather. I could live with that. P Lady in Texas. Wish, come on down, girl. We just waiting on you. We waiting on you. Come down. We're going to have a big party. We're going to shut down all the streets. We're going to have a big festival, and we're going to put you on a float and give you tacos and tequila shots, and you're going to be on this float, and we're going to have a band in front of you and a band behind you and dancers, and it's going to be a big party, and you're going to be on this float pulled by these beautiful horses all around town, and people are just going to cheer for you, and they're going to say, hola, hola, thank you for coming to Mexico. Yeah, just come on down, girl. Miss Sam, oh my God, familia, I just watched my phone carry to AT&T. It cost me $10 a month, which covers 2 phone numbers, both my American phone and my Mexico phone. And that's, another one of the great joys of living in Mexico is the affordability. I mean, you're walking around eating this great food, buying fresh food, having a good time, and everything is so affordable, which makes life a lot more relaxing. Is it unlimited talk and text and internet, Miss Sam, with new carrier? My cell phone and internet in Alaska is $151. That's crazy, man. Yeah, my phone bill, my cell phone bill is 700 pesos a month. That's like 35 pesos a month. I guess I'm paying too much. Whatever. Can art talking U.S. pictics is fine until you realize that D.C. is organized crime, war for profit, money theft, and nonstop lies, deception, no bueno. And that's just all of a sudden I've been an ancient history buff, and I've been reading about ancient, like Ethiopia, Babylonia, Jerusalem, Iraq, Mesopotamia. I mean, and all the rise and fall. Oh, and the history of religion, the history of the Bible, all the rewrites, did Mary and Jesus have a child? Were they married? I mean, and all the rewrites of the Bible based on politics. And then all the crime. Oh, and then talking about crime in Mexico and how a lot of the cartel and narco stuff isn't just drugs, but it's also, and I don't know anything. I just people talk and stuff. I don't know anybody. I don't know anything. I'm not a journalist. I just talk people on the street, but it's like any manufacturing stuff involved in manufacturing is all also. And it's like, there's nothing new under the sun. So who knows what's going on under the covers in the United States with business. And it's like Donald Trump got together a bunch of billionaire oil people and said, well, if you give me $1 billion, I'll do anything that you want me to do. Well, Donald, okay, maybe that's the way it is, but you can be less blatant about it. Be cool, man. Hide your stuff, brother. Don't just be telling people that you up for sale. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough. See what is going on. In Houston, Texas, the internet was $9.99. Sounds like good pricing. U.S. is organized crime. Okay, watch Monarch area, wood, avocado, and political crimes. Okay. Randy Rudolph, Bill, I love politics. Keep going. Yeah. I stay informed. If I'm not doing this, I'm a politics junkie, or I'm reading ancient history. Yeah, man, ancient history. Buck stops here. Wall says Kamala is bringing back the joy to the USA. That sounds very positive. Yes, the joy. And I'm going to tell you something. I've had this in the back of my mind about two movies that made me cry. Two movies that made me cry. And I'm going to talk about them now. Just because joy. In the movie E.T., it's like The little boys find E.T., and then the government finds out that the little boys have E.T., and the government's coming to get E.T. And then E.T. gets really sick. All of a sudden, he can't walk anymore. Oh, wow, man. Oh. And so then the government finds the house where the little boys are with E.T., and the little boys escape. And the little boys escape with E.T. on their bicycles. And the government is right behind them, and they're getting ready to catch the little boys, and it's all over. The government is going to catch the little boys and E.T., and then the camera zooms in on sick E.T., and E.T. touches his finger, and then all the little boys start flying through the air, and they get away from the government. Oh man, that's just powerful. That's just the power of love, man. How love can overcome evil. How there's something out there that's much more powerful than evil. Yeah, and another movie that I cry is when there is it's an Errol Flynn movie when he's Robin Hood. This is a great movie. Errol Flynn is like the end of the movie, and Errol Flynn is Robin Hood. They're out. He's got Little John with him in his band. They're out in the forest, and bad things are going on in Nottingham. And they're talking about, well, it's all messed up, man. We're going to have to go into town and get busy and take things over because King Richard has left town and all the crooks have really taken over. And we've got to go in and save the city. And they're making all these plans, right? And so what happens is they're out in the woods making plans, and then like these 8 guys show up in monks' outfits out of nowhere. They just show up, and Robin Hood is making all these plans, and blah, 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 blah. And one of the guys in one of these monks' outfits, he says, "What's going on? What's going on in Nottingham? What? You got the cartel and the narcos taking over." And Robin Hood explains to the guy in the monk outfit about what's going on. So here's the part that makes me cry. All of a sudden, all the guys in the monk outfits, they take off their monks. And it's King Richard, who has been traveling the world, and he's coming back to go back to Nottingham and take over Great Britain again. And he has the power to go in and fix everything that is wrong. And wow, it's just like the joy of good. The joy of good. And I think that Kamala Harris is bringing back joy. Let's have joy. Let's give everybody the opportunity to have a good job and to make money and to be safe and to love whoever you want to love and to marry whoever you want to marry and to be whatever religion you want to be and to be whatever color you are and have joy and get an education so that you can get a trade, you can go to college, you can be what you want to be. That's what joy is all about, and that is what the United States is all about. And I tell you what, you go, I'm going to leave this house and I'm going to walk about 7 blocks to the market, and on the way to the market, I'm going to see 5 or 6 people with Abercrombie and Fitch sweatshirts. I'm going to see some people with a Gap sweatshirt whose headquarters is in Columbus, Ohio, my hometown. I'm going to see people with Coca-Cola t-shirts. I'm going to see people with Nike tennis shoes. I'm going to see a few people with New York City caps and New York City sweatshirts. The people around the world love the United States of America because people believe that you can go there, you can get an education, you can go to college, you can own a business regardless of race, creed, religion, age, no matter who you love. That's the history or the myth of the United States. Yeah, how you like that? And I love all the hope and joy of that. Here we go. Miss Sam, you're the best with that analogy about slave narrative. Bill, talk about what gives you joy. Vote for all it's worth. Neither candidate is great, but I love books in my body, so no project 2025, no storming government buildings. That's right. Steve and KC, we all want, all we need is no more war. Not anywhere, not ever again. If we learn from the past, it's lucky that the past is past. Yeah, no more war. Right on, Rudy Clemens. Ola Bill, with all the crazy things going on in America, never moving back. Absolutely love it here. And Rudy lives in Mazatlán with his beautiful wife Sheila. We've done videos with them. Yeah. And that, I tell you, another one of the fabulous joys of living in Mexico, and I don't bring it up much, but one of the biggest joys of living in Mexico is not seeing any Americans, any nutsos. You know, I don't want to see any mega hats. These people, they're the reason they want to get rid of the Department of Education is so you can have stupid people for the public who don't know how to read. They don't know how to research. They're just uninformed. I'm not going to call them stupid, but that's why they want to get rid of the Department of Education. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, Helen Hall Rivers, I'm 60s, baby, too. All about the love. Political info is power. Fight for democracy. Yes. Yeah, at least we have a democracy. And I tell you what, one person here in the group said, let's not talk about politics. And I love that person to death. Wonderful individual. I love them for sharing all of the knowledge with us every week. But we got some people in the group. We only had one say no politics, but everybody else is saying politics, bring it on. We have a democracy in this group. And if the whole group said no more politics, well, then I wouldn't talk about it. But we got a little democracy here. I believe in democracy. We got Kim J in the house. Everyone, I love the double-decker buses as well. Yeah, the double-decker buses are the bomb in Mexico. That's why we have to vote for the prosecutor to put the angry orange man. Oh, that's funny. Oh, lock him up. Republicans hate politics when they disagree with your politics. Woo, that's funny. KC, do you have dual citizenship? If not, why not? Well, I have a permanent visa, and I'm going to tell you, Steve. So far, I have not seen any immediate benefit to getting a Mexican passport, citizenship. I have to take the test, study for the test, but with a Mexican citizenship, then I can go to countries that I can't go to as a United States citizen. Like as a United States citizen, you can go to Cuba, but you have to be in a special, maybe like an educational group and always be supervised. But if you have a Mexican citizenship, a passport, then you can just get on a plane and go to Cuba. And there are other countries like that also, where being an American citizen with an American passport, you're not allowed to go. Right now, that's the only benefit that I know of. But I right now, unless somebody sits me down and gives me reasons to get a Mexican citizenship, I can see the value of having a permanent visa. It just makes life a lot easier. If I see a way that getting a Mexican citizenship will make my life easier and more affordable, then I might do it. But I have not seen a reason to do that as of yet. Okay. What's the temperature in the winter? In the winter here, it's going to be like a high of 75, maybe a low of 39 to 45 degrees. There you go. Ken Art, Bill, when you talk politics is the only time that I question your sanity. However, it's not illegal to be crazy. Thank you very much. I'm okay. I'm no fan of Trump, but everybody knows that Biden, Harris are Obama's puppets, and that's okay with me. If they're Obama's puppets, let them dance to the string as he pulls those fingers of his. Let them be Obama puppets. Rather, they be Obama puppets than Putin puppets. Helen, on a lighter note, check out some of the political Daily Show reels. They are hilarious. I love the Daily Show. Yes. Ken Art, I'd only moved to Mexico to escape high housing cost. My computer's giving me messages. Okay. Other than that, I'm okay with visiting the world. Okay. Ken Art, I totally agree with you. The housing cost is just crazy here. My rent is crazy low down here. And I was watching a historical video last night, and they were talking about artifacts that are in the Louvre in Paris. I've never been to Paris. I have lived in Great Britain, Italy, Germany, and Izmir, Turkey, but I've never spent any time in France, never been to Paris. But in this documentary, they were talking about all of the artifacts from great historical artifacts in the Louvre, like the Mona Lisa, stuff like that. And that's not an old artifact. That's kind of a new thing. But I was thinking, well, would I like to go to Paris and see the Louvre? Well, I'm thinking that's going to cost me like $7,000 to really go. If you go, you may as well spend a couple of weeks airfare to get there. Hotel is going to cost you $2,000 or $3,000. And Ken Art, I totally agree with you. I would think about traveling the world more, but it's okay, maybe once I have 100,000 subscribers, and if my income like skyrockets. But so Ken Art, we're probably living in different economic realities. If I was bringing in like $50,000 a month, yeah, sure, I'd be traveling the world every month. But right now, I ain't making $50,000 a month. When I start making like $30,000 a month, then I'll be broadcasting live from the Louvre in Paris. let's just keep on cruising here. Steve, do you talk to Mexican people around where you live and ask them exactly where they wish they could possibly have a favorite city in Mexico to live? Yes, I do. I talk to people. Most of the people are behind the counter, like where I'm buying stuff. I take a taxi like 3 or 4 times a week. And it's really funny because the taxi drivers, they always want to talk to me. They want to know, where am I from? What am I doing here? How long have I been here? Am I looking for a girlfriend? And I always ask them, well, where are you from? And I'm going to say 99.99% of the time, no matter what city I'm in, they say, I'm from here. I'm from Puerto Vallarta. I'm from Morelia. I'm from Mazatlán. I'm from here. And I'll ask them, well, where do you go for vacations? And they'll tell me different places that they go with their family. Chiapas is very popular. But most the people that I run into in the cities that I've lived in are from here. I did meet a taxi driver last week that he's from Spain, and he's lived in Mexico since 1996. So that's about 28 years. He has 4 children. His wife is Mexican. He likes it here, and like Ken Art said, he just lives here because it's much more affordable than living in Spain. The buck stops here. I travel often. Cancun area was more expensive than New York, LA, and Dallas. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, why do that? Why do that, Cancun? Ms. Sam, thank you for contributing to the channel. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making us laugh. And thanks for making yourself available so that you can share the joys of living in Mexico with them directly in your conversations. Brian Maiden, I'm going to be in Ajijic in April. Staying for 1 month, but I'm thinking to get a bus and come to Morelia and visit. I recently been put on Ozempic and starting to change my life. And Brian, if you can swing it, if you can swing the money of it, don't take the bus to Morelia. Definitely get on a plane. Because I'm saying I've gone from Mazatlán. Ajijic to Morelia. That's like I've done it. Ajijic is almost Guadalajara. The bus from Guadalajara to Morelia was 3.5 hours. Yeah, you can do that. 3.5 hours on the bus. Definitely come on down. Come on down. Rudy, I see myself in ease, comfort, and fitness with quality, nutritionally organic, preservative-free foods in Mexico over the strain, tense, stress-charged gun violence by police on unarmed women. Yeah, you got to get away from that. Who can like that? Lawhoff 95. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel again. Joined in a little late. Great info and conversation. Enjoy this channel. Thank you, my girl, for contributing to the channel. I can use these funds to buy food, get more equipment. I'm happy to be settled in. I'm happy that the YouTube channel is growing. This moving process, the stress process, the finding a place process, the joy But I really think that I can develop a strong and unique information channel so that people can really change their lives and enjoy their lives. So let's see what happens. Hopefully I can do this well for another 10 years. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens in another 3 years. Let's see if we can make this grow. But thank you so much for contributing to the channel. And if you're watching the replay and you want to donate to the channel, if you click, there's a donate button in the description below. And there you can use PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discovery Card. Okay, I'm down to here. Russell Barnes. After living in Morelia for 3 years, we still haven't found a need to buy a car. Most of our needs are within walking distance. Anything else, we use Uber. Russell Barnes, cool beans. I'm totally with you on that. Russell, I think I live in a rich neighborhood or something because there's all kinds of nice cars on my street. Mercedes, Audis, a lot of Audis, BMWs. I saw a Porsche SUV down the street. I mean, all kinds of nice new cars up here. And sometimes I think, well, maybe I want to get a car, but I have no. I'm so happy not to have a car. I'm so happy not to have a car. And like you said, Russell, like today, I'm going to it's like a 15-minute walk, if that, to get to my super grocery store where the money machine is and everything. And that's all downhill. It's all pleasant and quiet, and then I'm going to get a few things. And then I'm going to call Uber. And after I call Uber, they're going to be there in like 5 minutes. And Uber is going to cost me 24 pesos to get back to my apartment. 24 pesos. That's like $1.20. And I don't have to walk up the hill. What? Oh, okay. $1. Let's say it's $1.10. That's it. $1.10 to get home with all my stuff. I don't have to walk up the hill. If I go to El Centro, which is a 10-15 minute drive, El Centro is going to cost me like 40 pesos or $2. What? I don't have to worry about accidents. I don't worry about parking. I don't have to worry about a belt popping. Belts pop off on new cars? I don't have to worry about any of that. None of that. I'm so happy not to have a car. No, I'm done with cars. Screw that. I want ease and peace, and having a car gives me all of that. Stephen Casey, are there many U.S. citizens living in trailers around there? Something along the lines of KOA places here. I did. If you go to Facebook and search for Mexico, what is it? If you go to Facebook, go to groups and do a search for trailer parks in Mexico, you'll find a bunch of expats that have groups they have trailer parks, but then they have the other RV parks. RV parks. They are throughout Mexico. I did videos of two trailer parks, RV parks in Mazatlán. They are throughout Mexico. Brian Maiden, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much always, Brian, for being here, sharing your love, giving tips about the joys of living in Mexico. And then we get to see your happy smile every week. And we got Nancy Trevino. I'm late from Houston. Family stuff. Oh, you got, hey, that's another one of the joys of living in Mexico for me. I never see my family. I remember living in Columbus, Ohio. I worked at Kroger's grocery store when I was in high school. I was a hard, good worker, and I was making $5. I was in the retail clerks union, making $5.25 an hour. That was That was like 45 years ago. I'm making $5.25 an hour. And if you worked on a holiday like Christmas or 4th of July, then the retail clerks union said you got triple time. So if you worked Christmas Day instead of $5 an hour, you made $15 an hour. So many times we would have Christmas with all our relatives at my house. And I'd say, no, I know I'm going to work. And Kroger's was only like half a mile from our house. And I put in a double shift that day. And it was so nice to be away from family, doing nothing all day, talking about nothing, learning nothing, people just getting on your nerves all day. Yeah, I hear that. Nancy, thank you so much. I'm glad you could get away from your family and also contribute to the channel to keep us going. Nancy Trevino, thank you so much. Relocated from Pearland, Texas to Alaska. Mexico's on my radar. Oh, Earthly Brown got a lot that's just sip water while broadcasting. Gracias. Jamie, here's a note here. We got Jamie, are you in Southern Ontario? People asking questions. Russell, you guys talking to each other? Russell, what area? Oh, there you go. What areas of Morelia are slightly elevated to avoid rain, flooding? I love that Bill's backyard. Okay. Yes, and for what it's worth, there has been flooding happening in parts of Morelia. But I live on a hill, so nothing's flooding up here. Temple. When I was young, I took a bus from Cuernavaca to Mexico City to visit my Mexican boyfriend. It was late evening trip and super chilly. Every nice Mexican man got up and insisted I take his jacket. Kindness everywhere. And there's a shop at the bottom of the hill. I go there to get milk and maybe some beer and sandwiches. I go there every other day. And I tell you, those people are so friendly. And the people that shop there are so friendly. And it just amazes everyone that goes in there to shop always says, how are you doing, to the guys behind the counter? I think it's a family shop. I'm going to call it a tienda, which means a small store. It's a tienda, small store. You got two brothers in there. I think their sisters work there at night and on the weekends. But everybody that goes to shop there, the first thing they say before they buy something, they're at the counter, they say, hola, how are you? Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Then they exchange the money. Well, that'll be like 100 pesos. Okay. And then it's like, gracias. No, thank you. And when you check out, people say goodbye like 80 times. Well, and thank you, goodbye. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay. Adios. See you later. Okay. Thank you. Gracias. Thank you. Goodbye. It's crazy. So many wonderful people down here. I have so many great memories like that from when I was there. Lots of love down there. Older folks, happy Saturday. Hawkins showing up after 2 hours and 10 minutes. Great to see you here. David Christensen. Hi, David. Great that you could make it. I've just been here butchering Spanish for 2 hours and 10 minutes, David. Lenora Wilson. Does anyone have Mint Mobile in Mexico? If so, how was the service? I've been thinking about changing my phone plan. Riku, you need to look up what chattel slavery was in the United States. While you're there, look up Jim Crow laws. That's funny. I tell you what, I didn't see what's that movie? The Slave movie. It's kind of recent, like 15 years ago. I forget the name of that movie. Oh, and it's Steven Spielberg. It's Steven Spielberg. You guys will remember the movie, but it was brutal, man. It was a slave movie. And they have the slaves on the boat, and they're running out of food. And so they had this special chain where they can chain up a big line of slaves and handcuff them on this one line of chain. And then they line up because they're running out of food. And then they just throw this chain. They throw like 100 naked black people off the boat, and you see them all sinking. They're all chained up, going down into the ocean. They never told us about that stuff in elementary school. That's just funny. Can Bill imagine the Earth's population was originally brought to the planet to mine the Earth? Very interesting. I've been watching a lot of videos about human activity and interactivity with aliens. And hey, there's a lot of history out there nobody talks about. Robert Harris Waltz is the only conscionable choice in our essentially two-party system. Vote Democratic. And Robert, I am 100% behind you on that sentiment. And I'm just going to support Robert and say he is totally right. Vote Democrat. Bring the joy. Bring information. Bring education. Bring freedom. And if this is as close as we can get to the illusion of freedom, bring it on and send the 34 felon, adjudicated rapist, stealer of our public documents, supporter of racism, wannabe dictator forever, butt buddy of Putin, Vladimir Putin's butt buddy, Kim Jong-un's butt buddy, Org of Hungary's butt buddy. And let's just get rid of that whole authoritarian, no freedom bag. Melania's got a guy that gets $20,000 a month to spend for her jewelry and makeup. Let's just get rid of all of that. Let's get freedom. Let's bring freedom and love back to the wonderful country of the United States. And Robert, thank you for that invitation for me to say that. 1972, NYC. You lived in Cozumel? No, I've heard fabulous things about Cozumel, and I have met many divers who do the scuba diving thing, and I don't scuba dive. I have snorkeled in Hawaii many times, but I have not practiced scuba diving. I don't know how. But in Cozumel, I've just heard they have like 3,000-foot drops, and it's like scuba dive heaven. Can Bill imagine the Earth's human population last 10,000 years were originally enslaved to plan the planet? Maybe that's why metal was so popular as an ancient medium of exchange. Yeah, there's some really, and it's so fascinating. I'm gonna go to the store today and get some stuff, and I have my videos pretty much planned out for next week and the week after that. So I'm going to just be a history junkie. There's all kinds of history about aliens taking human women off the planet. I know some guy that was abducted by aliens. There's a lot of stuff out there. Okay, now I will be coming before end of year to finalize temporary residence. I would like to schedule when there is no big festival going on. Okay. Law Hoff 95. Here's what you do. The first thing you want to do pertaining to festivals is just go to the internet and look up Mexico national holidays. There are about 10 of them. Of course, there's the regular holidays. One time of year you never want to visit Mexico unless you're a crowd freak is during Santa days, Semana de Santa, the week. That's Easter week. You want to find out when that is because it's crazy all over Mexico. Look up that, find out when that is. Semana de Santa. Christmas and New Year's, you don't want to be here then. January 6th, which is the Day of the Children, Day of Independence, and then there's the Day of Revolution. Yeah, those are days so just go to YouTube, go to Google and do a search for Mexican holidays. There are like 10 of them, and just see what days those are. And then whatever city you're going to, you want to go as like Morelia. I can't even answer you this question, but like go to Morelia and search for Morelia holidays. I'm sure like the butterfly weekend is a big weekend, and search and just don't come during the holidays. All of these holidays are very popular and well documented. Just do a search like that, or join. If Morelia has many Facebook groups for expats, many. Also, Guadalajara has Facebook groups for expats. Mazatlán, Puerto Vallarta, Merida. They all have expat groups, and go to those Facebook groups and ask them, say, hey, when is a bad time to visit your city? I'm coming down for this reason. When's a bad time to come? And let the expats tell you. That's the only good thing about Facebook. I hope that helps. And again, Lawhoff 95, thank you for contributing to the channel. We have 61 people in the house, and we have 47 likes, and people are helping to pay my rent. It's a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone. Bill, you ever lived in Cozumel? No, I never lived in Cozumel, and I don't think I ever will. And let's look at the map. Let's look at the map. Yeah, here we go. And this is why I would never live in Cozumel, I think. Okay. Cozumel is, wait, now I thought that, oh man, let's do this. Cozumel. There we go. Cozumel. There you go. Yeah, I thought so. I thought Cozumel was right there. Thank you very much. Yeah, Cozumel, one, you can see it over here on the eastern coast of Mexico. And you can see here's Cancun right up here, Playa de Carmen, Cozumel. I mean, that's a big tourist location. And in that location, it's hot and humid all year. So I'm not going to a place that is like hot and humid all year and a tourist location. That's something that I just wouldn't do. I might visit for a week. Once I'm making like $30,000 a month for making your YouTube videos, I might visit there, but that's about it. I'm not going to move there. If I start making $100,000 a month on YouTube, maybe for 6 months, I might move there in the winter time when it's a little bit cooler. But then if I'm making $100,000 a month, then I could rent a mansion and have servants and stuff like that. Okay, so let's get back to reality over here. Ken Art. Bill imagines, okay, we did that, I think. We're down here. Okay, Robert. War is an absolute method of solving political issues. Mexican has no offensive military source, which is very true. Brian Maiden, Bill, thank you. Bill, for who you are. Love you, man. Please never think. Thank you, Brian Maiden. Drop me a line before you get down here. Yeah, Cozumel is too hot unless you like heat. I mean, I've been to Cancun. I spent a couple of weeks in Cancun. It's hot. People in Merida, they say it's hot as hell. They have electricity outages, water outages. So between the heat and the tourist, I mean, if you got the money, go enjoy the heat. Get a nice resort hotel where you go in there and you just turn on the air conditioning all day and night and don't go outside. Maybe go to the pool, get drunk with the other Americans and Canadians. But I'm not going. And again, when I start making $100,000 a month on YouTube, I'm going to skip Cozumel. That's all I got to say. Richard, Trump stuck his foot in his mouth again. He said the presidential medal. Oh, yeah. Because members who receive the Medal of Honor are often, he gave the presidential, Trump, I think it was during his term as president, gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to this lady. I think her name is Alderman, a very wealthy donor to the Republican Party. She donated $115 million to Donald Trump. She gave Trump $115 million. And after she gave Trump $115 million, then he gave her the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Yeah, that's Donald Trump. Ms. Sam, Ken Art, good for you. I moved to Mexico for freedom. I get up every morning wondering if I'm going to wake up from this beautiful dream. I have to visit the United States for business, and I dread it. Stephen, bring the joy back. Watch the 20. Oh, yes. And yes, thank you, Stephen, for reminding me to share that with everyone that, yes, the Democratic National Convention is Monday of Thursday through this week. I'm sure a lot of joy will be shared there. They're going to be talking about women's right to choose, men and women, people are being allowed to love one another no matter what. They're going to talk about education, more jobs, more housing, love, dove, freedom. Here we go. Robert, my residency will become permanent in a year. I never understand why so many Mexicans, oh my God, want to visit Las Vegas. You are always welcome to stay at my apartment in Ensenada on your Baja trip. Robert, thank you so much for that hospitality. Thank you so much. Ken Art. Brian, at 60, I'm down 30 pounds, eating 1 to 2 healthy meals per day. Also down a pant size. Your body gets accustomed to it. And Ken Art, thanks again for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. And earthly brown color is Ozem for weight loss. Okay. You picked a great area for your soft landing memo. Yeah, I love it here. Robert, thanks for giving an excellent resource for me and other expats contributing 100 pesos to the channel. Thank you, Robert, so much. That goes a long way down here. Jamie, hey, Brian. I'm on the Ontario. Everybody's hooking up, giving information. Low minimum wage $7.25. Yeah, I was making $7.25 an hour 40 years ago. Axel Foley, hi Bill. I guess I caught your show at the end. Great to see you here, Jamie. Reason I asked here, I hear Southern Ontario has very severe weather, tornado. Yeah, you got tornado stuff going on. Helen's Anita's name of the movie. No, Anita's name for the movie Amistad. The movie is Amistad. Amistad. What a powerful movie that was, Amistad. Okay, Lenora Wilson. I plan to keep my Mint Mobile and reduce my plan to $15, have a Telcel SIM, and currently recharge my SIM card $15 to $17. I will use Wi-Fi. Okay, golly. Amistad, that's it. Amistad, thank you so much. Amistad, very powerful movie. I just saw it for the first time about 2 years ago. It rocked my world. KC in Kansas City, is there such a thing as a permanent visa? Haven't you applied ever to get? I have a permanent visa right now. Yes, there is such a thing as a permanent visa. I've had a 1-year visa. I had 2 2-year visas, and I got my permanent visa about 4 years ago. And I'm going to say one of the most wonderful things about getting a permanent visa, I got it in Chapala, which is right next door to Ajijic, about 45 miles from Guadalajara. So I go into the immigration office. All my paperwork was done. They had my card ready. All I had to do is go down, sign some papers, and pick it up. And the young lady, this beautiful Mexican worker behind the counter, she hands me my permanent visa. And in English, she tells me, notice there's no expiration date. And that's the beauty of having a permanent visa. Because for years, I lived down here on that, doing the 180 day at a time thing. A couple of times I forgot to do it. A couple of times I didn't want to do it. I had to do stuff to get back in. Then when you have a 1-year visa or 2-year visa, then you have to get that renewed, pay more money. I love my permanent visa. Ken Arthur, Ukraine is the birthplace of Nazism and excels in human trafficking. Maybe that's why Joe has sent billions there to fund our involvement, nourishment for the uninformed. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ukraine. I just know the Russians are bad. And I know that the Russians are raping a lot of Ukrainian women. I just don't like that. I don't like that. Miss Sam, Brian, we have to dance in El Centro. I go dancing there often with the locals. The Turista police in Central called me by my real name. They hugged me and cried when I called about the angry U.S. police. That's funny. Okay, Hawkins and Laura Will. Some folks port their U.S. number to Google Voice as well as to get a Mexican SIM card and top up when their data gets slow. Lots of options. And yes, there is also the option. I don't think anybody has mentioned this, but there are phones out there available now that you can put 2 SIM cards in. So you can have one service on one card, have the service on the other card. Both of them, you can use them both and just flip back and forth. Jamie, we had a few bad rainstorms here. No tornadoes. Okay. Mint, talking about Mint, glad that nasty weather is not near you. Very good. Ken Art, it's nice to know that Mexico has competent immigrations law. Unlike the Biden-Harris administration, don't let the facts get in the way. And that's another conversation. Okay, each and every one. We've been doing this for 2.5 hours now. We've been here 2.5 hours now. Oh, look who showed up. Look who showed up. Buenos dias from Jacqueline. We'll watch the replay. Oh, good for you, girl. You work for them. Right on. That's way more important than joining me today. Okay, we're about to get out of here now. This week, I'm going to put up a couple of videos. I'm going to shoot one tomorrow, shoot another one like on Monday. It's all in the bag. Got the videos all made. I'm going to start traveling within the next 10 days locally. Okay. Loved your honest commentary today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like to be real with who I am. I like to be real with who I am. I am that I am. Brian Maiden, thank you again for joining us. Love you very much. Let me know when you're coming down. Ken Art, I'm also about to switch to Mint. I've never heard of Mint. It is on the T-Mobile network, Temple Moore. Thanks, Bill. Enjoy your day. And now, and if Temple Moore is getting ready to split, I think I'm getting ready to split myself. Thanks. Cheers from Australia. And thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. We will be back. Next week live at 10 a.m. Central Time, broadcasting live from Morelia, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. Love you all. Thanks for joining us again. We have a wonderful community here, and I think as the weeks progress through the rest of this year, I will be traveling more. With the donations you guys provide me, I'll be being on the road, and each week I should have more and more videos about the joys of living in Mexico. So I'm going to cut out of here. Adios, hasta luego, and Kate Biden. Kate Baya Bien. Love you all. Thank you so much for sharing your information and being here today.